Hello, I'm John Allgaier. I'm the Chief Technical Officer for BRIDG. Been involved with the semiconductor industry for most of my career. So all of our employees at BRIDG have 20 to 40 years of experience in various aspects of the industry. Personally, I've done 5 factory startups and 3 greenfield startups. I've worked for commercial companies including Motorola, AMD, Global Foundries. I've also been a part of public-private partnerships, including Semitech, IMEC, Fraunhofer, and Leti. Recently, I'm also running several government programs for the Department of Defense that include the stand-up of advanced packaging technologies here at BRIDG.
Hello, I'm Jim Vanderveer, President of BRIDG. My background covers over 30 years of C-level management experience in the telecommunications and medical device startups. That background has enabled me to work with a lot of researchers to develop commercialized products that later turned into either public entities that are still operating as businesses today, and also purchased products that companies have sold to other companies to add scale to their business sector. These technologies were not in existence prior to our involvement, and it's really exciting to be a part of something that nobody else has ever done before and actually deliver that product.
I'm Don Fisher, Osceola County Manager. I function as the Chief Executive Officer for our local government, one of 67 counties in the state of Florida. My expertise is being involved with NeoCity, the 500-acre campus you see that is really built around the semiconductor industry starting in about 2014. My experience is that I sit on the BRIDG Board of Directors, I sit on IMEC USA Steering Committee, and I'm the chair of the Build Back Better Regional Challenge Semiconductor Coalition.
So the United States needs to foster an advanced packaging ecosystem in order to have an industrial base that can support these technologies, which are critical for current products and future products. BRIDG has been leading by example with the activities that we've been doing at this site, and we would like to be a part of the larger solution for the United States and are open to partnering as part of that solution. BRIDG is focused on advanced packaging and system integration. We have some key programs standing up a technology transfer from IMEC, which includes a silicon interposer technology. We have a supply chain program that's focused on providing supply chain security. We have supplier programs, including partnerships with TEL and SUSE. And we also have an extensive workforce development program.
We're the only local government that I know of that owns a semiconductor manufacturing plant, a 109,000 square foot facility. We're also the only local government that I know of that owns a 500-acre technology campus that we own debt-free, meaning that we can work with for national security interest, work with the federal government on really onshoring advanced packaging for the United States.
So one of the big accomplishments at NeoCity was the fact that we were Build Back Better Regional Challenge winners, and the only semiconductor winner out of 520 plus applications across the United States. These funds will build upon a capability that has started, and anybody that understands how technology advances and everything else, you need to follow with more funds to support actual growth. The good thing about what we do here at NeoCity and what BRIDG is proud of is the fact to have customer pulls on existing IBAS products that are coming through our factory supported by Skywater. Add to that the fact that we need to have more R&D capabilities, more money focused on the growth of education in the semiconductor industry, and focused energies applied to our local university system in the state of Florida. And these funds from the CHIPS Act will allow us to scale to a point where we will move the needle from the 2% of the advanced packaging capabilities that are currently being done in the United States. We represent a fantastic state in a great environment, a super location, and a geographically representative of diversifying the technology portfolio, giving the southeastern United States the ability to have another type of revenue stream going forward.
So the CHIPS Act really enables us to take a different direction as a country. As we look at the global economy and the playing field, it has been changing over the last 20 to 30 years. Several countries, that didn't even have a presence in this industry have become leaders from a technology perspective. The United States needs to learn to solve both the business side of the equation and the technology side. The CHIPS Act can create an environment from a business perspective that can enable new companies and existing companies to grow and thrive so that we can restore manufacturing within the U.S. One of the key changes that we have to have in terms of our thought process is viewing manufacturing as infrastructure so that we can then become self-sufficient and compete with other nation states that have already taken this approach. The CHIPS Act can serve as a basis for us to establish a new approach to industrial policy. It can enable an industrial environment where we have the right economic conditions for companies to thrive. Again, key to that is providing infrastructure and low-cost access to that infrastructure so that companies have access to the manufacturing capability and can develop their current and future generation products. This will truly enable our economy going forward, and in particular in the advanced packaging space, it's estimated that economy will be in the trillions of dollars as we go forward. So the advanced packaging industry is at an inflection point, and now is the time for the United States to establish an industrial base in these technologies. Currently, we have a market share of about 2%. This is the right time, due to it being an inflection point, to stand up these capabilities to support future generation products. These capabilities can enable a variety of systems, including telecommunications, space-based systems, Internet of Things. It's critical that we enter this market space now in order to be able to capture the trillion-dollar market space that's available with the new products that this technologies enable.
The main issue with advanced packaging and the great challenge is that 98% of advanced packaging takes place outside the borders of the United States. So if you take two trusted chips, it leaves the country, you don't know how that might be manipulated when it's sent back. Here at Neo City, we have 4 years worth of infrastructure placed here that is ready to accept other companies that could do advanced packaging here in the USA. And what we'd like to be is the center of excellence for advanced packaging for the United States. So when advanced packaging is viewed to get done for assembly, it is done here in Osceola County.
One of our primary gaps is establishing self-sufficiency within the United States. And this is in particular addressing manufacturing. The United States should establish a draft national roadmap that really comprehends where we want to go in the next 20 years, which should cover research and development all the way through product manufacturing. We should examine our existing manufacturing capabilities and the roles they play in the broader semiconductor ecosystem and value chain. We can establish an initial set of key performance indicators to set goals and monitor progress. Products that we address should span strategic sectors, including aerospace, defense, telecommunications, medical, automotive, and others. The United States needs to focus on addressing the full semiconductor supply chain. Key U.S. weaknesses are in fabrication, packaging, advanced packaging, and testing. We should focus on establishing traceability within the supply chain, from legacy to state-of-the-art, including extension of traceability to products supporting critical applications in the field. Understanding the supply chain with enough detail is necessary to recognize and address future shortages. In addition, we need to develop the workforce and the workforce pipelines that are required, and we can do this by driving industry collaboration with trade schools, colleges, and universities to modernize, update, and create new curricula and career paths to grow our talent pipeline, both for the semiconductor industry and for the key products that this industry enables. We need to be flexible during our implementation. A portion of the projects that we do together are not going to meet expectations. We need to expect this and plan and learn and adapt as we move forward. Real growth as a country is the outcome of vision and struggle.
Startup companies don't necessarily in this traditional market right now get the amount of money to basically get their products into these semiconductors or fabs or other high volume, because they're starting out at a very low rate. The price is pretty high and it's not cost prohibitive. So what BRIDG and what we're trying to do at NeoCity is offer these two areas, startup companies and universities, the ability to do their R&D and scale manufacturing to a point where it's cost effective for them. It saves them money, allows them to get more product, partners them with great engineering resources like BRIDG and IMEC. It allows these companies to have a place that they can output their technology and support the university system. Because when we get to volume, we do simple things like repay those that have invested that money from a university so they continue to do R&D growth that benefits our country.
So there are gaps to address advanced packaging for the U.S. The main thing that we see is the capital cost for what I refer to as the four walls of a building. There are tons of companies out there of small and medium size that have really commercialized ideas that are out there, but they can't afford that initial capital infrastructure on their own. CHIPS would allow another investor to get those four walls built and bring advanced packaging back to the United States.
So the entities funded by the CHIPS Act can work to provide low-cost entry for companies that are wanting to develop products in order to address the critical valley of death that most products face. We actually have an outstanding research environment in this country, but where we start to run into difficulties is taking those new ideas through product development and out into final products. This is where the companies enabled by the CHIPS Act can provide that base. So we as a country can bring these new products to market, and we as a country can recognize the revenues that are obtained from bringing them to market. Again, the focus needs to be on providing self-sufficiency within the country, because that is achievable, and the benefits from that will be seen on a global scale.
I would say that the entities that get funded by the CHIPS Act, and hopefully including BRIDG and our coalition, what we could do is collaborate and share resources, not recreate or double up on things that currently exist, and have open discussions that allow for, we're an advanced packaging hub and the other hubs are out there. We need to coordinate and make sure that we're doing things efficiently, helping with reliability, helping with product knowledge. As we push technology forward, the tool manufacturers, and we're very fortunate to have SUSE, Microtech, and TEL as supporting our NeoCity facility, but they even understand and they talk to us all the time about what else can we do from our tools to help get to the next level, to the next capability. And those are the information that we need to share across the country. A coordinated plan, a coordinated map of growth over the next 10, 15, 20 years. So I would hope that all the award winners through CHIPS would reach out to each other and come together. The country needs it.
So I am a firm believer in the National Imperative for Industrial Skills model. It's a model that provides linkage from jobs that are in the field back through the education system and the requirements for each of those positions in the field, and actually carries the requirements back into K through 12 education. I think if we work to continue to build upon this model, we can work with employers to establish the job needs of today and the future needs, especially for the advanced packaging industry and for the industries that are supported by it. The model can then be used to address the training needs, and that training can take place, again, starting at K through 12. It can start with focused training for veterans. You can also start with trades training at community colleges. And for those positions that require additional training, it can pursue into higher education at university and beyond levels. At BRIDG, we've been working to put the National Imperative for Industrial Skills model into practice within our regional coalition. Located on our site is the NeoCity Academy, which is a STEM high school focused on grades 9 through 12. That high school has a project-based learning, which really allows the students to apply their education to projects. And those have included the building of CubeSats, and they've included internships, within our fabrication facility. The investment in NeoCity Academy has been an incredible success for Osceola County. It's recently graduated its first class, and all of the students have gone on to pursue secondary education. The Academy is very well subscribed and supported by folks in the industry and in the community, and because of this support, it has led to the doubling in size of NeoCity Academy. We also have partnerships with the local community colleges, including Valencia College, where we are able to train a lot of our workforce. The workforce pipeline supports both our site and also the surrounding industries. Within the state of Florida, we also are able to graduate roughly 650,000 graduating students per year. And this workforce can support both the local industry, including advanced packaging, but can also support the national needs for a workforce within the semiconductor industry. Osceola County has also been very supportive of education for its high school graduating seniors. As part of the American Recovery Act, they provided scholarships for the first 2 years of college for all 5,000 graduating high school seniors last year, and are repeating that again this year. Again, the dedication to education and providing the skills needed for all types of jobs, both within our industry and within the industries around us, is critical for growing this region.
So one of BRIDG's focuses in the state of Florida is to partner with associations that support the military that have finished and completed their service, and focus on their capabilities that they've done through their 4, 6, or 20 plus years, and use that reliable, dependable, technical resource to take care of the shortfall that we see in staffing across the country. BRIDG is proud to support that. We'll do everything it can through the CHIPS Act to add money to allow these people to get educated and trained, and hopefully help the semiconductor industry close the gap on where we go from the shortfall that we're predicting over the next 2 to 3 years. When you get to years 3 and 4, we need to follow that in a parallel path by supporting institutions that have associate's degrees and community college, and invest in them, because if they finish their 2-year degree, like the program that's done here through BRIDG, Skywater, and IMEC, have supported Valencia College, which is doing basically a 2-year technician degree and then following on where you are automatically accepted to UCF. We want to expand that relationship and make it across all universities in the state of Florida. Doing those two things will create a pipeline of people that are interested in STEM, and from STEM, they will be either processing people, technicians, they'll be tool maintenance people, they will wind up as, some of them will wind up as PhDs, and we will have generated a pipe that starts from year 1 and continues on for the next 20 to 30 years.
So it's important to have a workforce tied around the advanced packaging. And here at Osceola County, we've done a few things. On site, we have NeoCity Academy. It is a public high school that is training the next generation of people that will work in clean rooms and semiconductors and manufacturing. Across the street from this site, we have Valencia College that is currently establishing a robotics and semiconductors training program. And for all of Osceola County, we fund on an annual basis every high school senior's full scholarship to either a technical certification or an AA degree through Valencia College, 100% covered, no strings attached. We think through those three-pronged approach that we can build the workforce. We think that CHIPS funding to help accelerate that further would be a great addition to what we're doing now.
So the question was, what would success look like? My answer is success after year one would look like being awarded CHIPS funding that supports the plan that we're going to submit to the Department of Commerce. In year three, success would look like implementation, construction, and stand-up of a new multi-use semiconductor fabrication facility. This would encompass 4 or 5 shared suites of clean room space. It'll also encompass an RF, a digital, and a photonic advanced packaging center, and give NeoCity the ability to produce many products and R&D activities with this increased capability. Success in year 5 would be that NeoCity would become the advanced packaging technology hub and a design center for the U.S. government, supporting our nation and our growth, and also have the entire facility at least planned but funded to be built out so that we can realize the vision of what NeoCity is to become.
So success really will revolve around achieving U.S. self-sufficiency. The key performance indicators that we discussed earlier and establishing those so that you do consistent monitoring is important so that we don't lose sight of our vision. Also having a national roadmap and continually looking at your roadmap and performance to roadmap so that we can achieve the vision that we've set out on. This is critical in order to get where we would like to be in the next 1 to 3 to 5 years. Again, an overarching goal of self-sufficiency in your supply chains is critical and would establish a solid foundation from which the U.S. can continue to grow.
So year one success would be, we already have a 4-year track record. We've got a fabrication facility up and running. But if we were to receive a CHIPS award in year one, that would start our ability to go into design, and in year 3, have a fabrication facility built and begin employing people in manufacturing chips and assembling chips. By year 5, that turns into a commercial operation supplying the private sector industry throughout the United States.
The important thing we as a country need to have is a focus on becoming self-sufficient. This starts with local, state, and federal money. It also has to involve industry, and the industry has to focus on getting product pulled from people in the United States, factories in the United States, to all the products, and not just taking the volume and the R&D that we're doing here and pushing it overseas. Intellectual property is the most important thing we have in this country, and if we want to maintain or hope to get self-sufficiency, we need to protect that at all cost. I want to thank Osceola County for creating NeoCity and BRIDG, and hope that this plan that we've put forward will be accepted and funded. Thank you.